You'll be relieved to hear we're bringing in a consultant. A consultant to identify where and how we can avoid input.
Well, good luck to me. If Burroughs throws me words, experts fine by me, just don't expect me to watch. What I should have done the minute you started picking on me, I've had enough.
Completely overreacted.
I'm finally coming to my senses. I have no hope of being treated fairly here, but
That's not true.
simply don't fit in with your idea of what a manager or a man should be.
Rob,
Explain it to the board any way you like. I'm out of here. Fuck you.
Demonstrating the truth of the adage that attack is the best form of defence. We'll be back in Ambridge tomorrow when Pip is there for Ruth and Helen is understanding. I'm sure you'll wish she would be. Now, here's Front Row with Kirsty Lang.
Hello from Edinburgh, a cacophony of comedy, cabaret, music, theatre, and the quality barometer runs from truly awful to mind-blowingly brilliant. Tonight, where the subject of depression is the big theme on the Fringe, three of the biggest figures in British theatre, the directors of the National Theatres of Scotland, Wales and Great Britain, a beatboxer who performs William Blake's poetry hip-hop style, and I get a lesson in how to boost my audience figures from the cast of UKIP the musical.
You speak from the heart. So you say, ladies and gentlemen, listen to Front Row on Radio 4. It's jolly good, and it's free for now.
Yes, that's an actor dressed as a George giving me a lesson on how to promote a show in Edinburgh. More from him in a moment. One of the extraordinary things about the Fringe is that no one curates it. Anyone can turn up here and perform a show. And yet every year, specific themes turn up. The 2015 Edinburgh Zeitgeist is how to talk about depression. It's cropping up everywhere, from stand-up comedy to cabaret, plays, and monologues. The Nigerian opera singer, Gato Chocolat, is a cabaret about it. Felicity Ward is doing stand-up about anxiety and irritable bowel syndrome. And the new play by Lucy Grace, which explores anxiety in corporate culture. Yesterday, I went to see Fake It Till You Make It, an autobiographical show created by performance artist Brian Kimming and her partner, advertising executive Tim Grayburn, who has struggled with chronic depression since his early 20s. In fact, he initially kept a secret from Brian, which he accidentally found out and persuaded him to talk about it.
I grew up in quite a big family, quite a conventional family really. Dad went to work every day. It was a strong sort of typical man.
Depression, was that ever mentioned?
No, never. Didn't have a clue what it meant.
Also doing an autobiographical show about depression is Brigitte Aphrodite. She too appears on stage with her partner who plays guitar. My Beautiful Black Dog is a musical packed with wacky, absurdist songs about Brigitte's depression, which she has christened Depression Glorious.
You are horrible, beautiful, wonderful, the best. Promise you redneck colored purchase from a market store. Street vest, you are crescendorious. You are crescendorious. You are crescendorious. You are glorious.
Brigitte Aphrodite joins me in the front row Porsche cabin studio here at the Edinburgh Fringe, along with Bryony Kippings and Tim Grayburn. Welcome. Bryony, let me start with you. How do you make a subject like depression entertaining?
I guess when we decided to make this show together, the idea that came into our heads with it was that it would be stand-up, because we were like, if we make something really, a real tearjerker about depression, there's going to be no joy in that, and it's going to be really boring. And so we tried to find the humour in our story, I guess. So there's elements of really sad parts of the story in our show, but we also had to balance out, like when Tim's really ill, for example, we do still laugh, we still have fun, we still live our lives, so I think it's really important to sort of celebrate that.
I should say that you both arrive on stage wearing beige support underwear with baskets over your head, waving grapples, doing a silly dance. You're quite pregnant. It's completely bonkers.
Yeah. I think the idea was like, Tim was like, please don't make me look stupid. So the first thing I did was make sure that he
Yes, because Tim, let's clarify this for the audience. Bryony is your partner, and she devised this show about your depression. You work in advertising. It's your very first time on stage. How did she convince you to do this?
A lot of convincing, basically. It took, I refused to do it at the beginning, and then I guess she just kept making me cups of tea. Come on,
And you set some conditions. You would not look the audience in the eye.
yeah, the idea of having was terrifying. So I said, if you can figure out a way of me not having to look at anybody, then
And so she's devised this fantastic headgear for you, all the entire series of singing hats. Specifically, this show is about depression for men, and I believe that the death of Robin Williams was the trigger.
Yeah, it was certainly one of those moments in life where you begin to ask questions about what's happening to our men. It was one of those shocking moments where I guess it just changed perspective of what people thought of as, wealthy, happy, successful. Which is similarly Tim's story. He's an advertising exec, everything's going great for him, and secretly behind the facade is a very, very, ill and sad person. And so I think that was for both of us one of those moments where we were like, we do really need to make this show. We really need to talk about men, mental health. We need to talk about why Tim would have kept that secret for 8 years. I think basically what actually happened rather than cups of tea was probably that you'd started to realise that talking about it was opening so many different doors in our family life, in our personal life.
We've done the research and we saw how common it was, so that helped with me, with the convincing me doing it, because I just thought, well, if it's affecting so many people, and I'm not the only one, and then I guess I didn't feel so ashamed, because I believed it was a shameful thing.
I have to say, I found this show profoundly moving. I was sobbing by the end, and I certainly wasn't the only one. There was loads of sort of sniffling, and I think you were crying as well by the end. I mean, I've rarely seen such a piece of raw emotion on stage, and yet I did laugh as well. How difficult is it to put such deeply personal stuff? This is all about your relationship. It's a love story as well, in front of a bunch of complete strangers.
We haven't really got anything to hide, have we? It's just, we're just another normal human being couple. You could put anyone up on that stage, really, and get the same sort of stuff.
I think that the point is that it's honest and it's the truth, and that's why it seems to make people cry so much, is because it's not a sort of facade that we're hiding behind. We're just saying this is our lives, this is how we cope with it, and we're trying to make that entertaining for people, but at the same time, it is very raw and it is just our story.
Brigitte Aftafi, I want to come to you, because like Tim, you have chronic depression, and you decided to tell your story with your partner on stage. Also, quiet boy doesn't speak, but he's there and he plays the guitar. And you've done it in the form of a musical. Why that?
Well, I always wrote songs and poems anyway, so it has always been something that I express myself with, always something that I've taught and done. So it seemed, as soon as I realised I needed to make a piece of work about how I've been feeling, not being able to get out of bed, and I realised that this is not normal, and I thought about the persona that I suppose I have, which is even within friendship groups, somebody who really loves a party.
I should describe that it starts when you're crawling out of the trunk dressed in black underwear, feather boas, lots of glitter, and there are some silly dancers like Brian showed us. Is that another way, I mean, the costume, the look, another way of getting the audience to engage with a subject that's uncomfortable for most of us?
Yeah, I suppose there is a full sense of security within the sparkle and the songs. People connect with music because it's quite rhythmic and they can feel safe at times. And then when you tell a lot of not jokes, but some of the lyrics are quite funny. So when really emotionally raw stuff hits.
Yeah, sort of somehow telling sort of really hard, raw stuff when you're